Ooh.
Devon coming with the zingers.
But you came with the drip, 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 and I was like,
like we had to go take a little tea break on that shit, huh?
Or a pee break.
All the above. I wanna piss on you.
On you. Drip, drip,
Piss
drip,
on you.
drip.
Yes, I do wanna pee on you. Okay, what time is it?
Ask your
Your
aunties.
Now, wow, this is the first one of the year too. And you know, I didn't put it in the chat, but I'll read it from here. It says, "Hey, aunties, just curious. Any of you doing dry January this year, or have done it in the past? I did it for the first time last year and found out it was a great for me to reevaluate my relationship with alcohol. I'm doing it again this year, so I'm just curious." I was like, and if you're not watching on YouTube, you see Dewan's answer was very clear.
Very clear. Very clear. It's a no for her, dog.
And it's interesting that this question's come up because I've seen this kind of pop up across social media. Obviously, dry January, but it seems like a lot of people are kind of talking about it more this year. So,
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, how many months gonna be dry this year? Because ain't there dry November and then dry October, dry October,
yeah.
Dry
and then-
October.
and then-
October, I think.
and now it's dry January. Like, if y'all don't want to drink, don't drink. Damn.
But you know, some of the girls need a break. Some of the girls need a cause to pump the brakes. Some of them ain't got no self-control.
Do
If
that.
you don't want to drink, just don't drink.
Don't drink.
That's a word.
I mean,
I got shit else to say after that. Damn. I ain't got nothing's gonna live up to that line because you're right. You know, but like for me, I go ahead.
let me just say, at the end of the day, whatever a person needs to do for them, whatever that is, whether it's, not drink for a month, like I'm doing intermittent fasting. So like we all are doing like things, and this is like this, my thing is not like, some New Year's resolution and all that kind of bullshit. I'm just trying something different. So like, I love, I'm sorry, I took a drink right before I said it. So
You really did.
You know what he just said? Literally, all of that just like you and your little stuff. That's what that whole conversation's been so far.
I'm gonna shut up now. Jarrell, drop some pearls of wisdom for these folks over here, please.
If you want to drink. If you don't want to drink, don't drink. I mean, for me, like I've never partaken in like a dry January or sober October and things like that. I'm not like I'm a social drinker. So if I'm going to go out with friends and things like that, that's when I drink. I don't drink like at home ever, like hardly ever. Like I don't even really drink on the podcast. I know we'll have like the 200th episode and things like that. That's when I'll probably do it. But week in, week out, it's just something that I just never had to do or got in the habit of doing to like wind down from the day and things like that. So for me, it's not, and I say this maybe from a place of privilege where that's just something that my brain doesn't like crave per se, I guess, in a way, and that I don't know how to say it in a good way that's not condescending or feeling any kind of way. But so for me, I don't drink. I could go weeks without drinking already. Mm-hmm. So I guess I don't necessarily need like a dry whatever. Like if we're going to go out for the weekend, if we'll go to a bar, okay, I'll grab a couple drinks then. But I hardly even drink at like dinner and things like that if we go out. So for me, that's where my brain is like, I just don't.
Oh, you don't drink at dinner when you go out? Like when you and Corey go out to eat, like you don't have like
the only time I will is like if it's like a special restaurant where they're like, oh, you got to try this cocktail. It's like our special cocktail or something. I'm like, okay, I'll try the cocktail. Yeah, but I'm not going to sit there. Like if it's like we're going out to dinner like tonight, I'm not going to go in and be like, okay, I want a glass of wine or a vodka soda or something like that. It's hardly ever, honestly.
Now, you know what? It makes sense why when we be in Dallas, a bitch can throw it back because she be saving it up.
I guess so, right?
She be saving it up. People like, look.
That's the only. Those are literally the only times that I really like drinking. I guess in that part, it turns into like this binge moment. But but it's more of a social aspect for me than
Yeah.
just saying, okay, I want to just sit here and have a beverage. So I say that
Mm.
all to say is just like I can have dry January, not even knowing I did a dry January just because I didn't go
Yeah.
out for the month or something
Yeah.
like that. So
That
my
makes sense.
perception of it's just a little different than maybe some other folks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's not new to the community when it comes to me and Pride Month. I like to do sober Pride Month. So
Yeah.
like so that's kind of that's the only time I really do it, just to, do the opposite of what everyone's doing come Pride Month, which is getting shit faced. But I will say this though, I do like when I do take that time to not drink. I do like how my body starts to feel. I can feel a difference,
Hmm.
which is something that's really nice. But to be honest, even now, I really don't drink that often at home. Like, I probably go out once a weekend, maybe if that. I like to stay my ass in the house these days. I am not made for the streets these days. I am off the market. I don't need to be in nobody's streets.
Yeah.
So honestly, I really don't drink that much. I'm kind of like you, Carell. When I go out and I'm socializing, I'll drink. Other than that, no, I'm okay. If I have a stress day, I will wind down. If I have a stressful day at work, and I will have a glass of wine. But
Yeah.
even then, it's a glass, if
Right.
that.
Right.
Yeah.
So
But like and I like that it is maybe for some folks giving you a second of pause or just trying to figure out your relationship with alcohol because it can be a
hmm
slippery slope for sure, you know.
hmm
And if that's what you need to reevaluate your situation and be like, you know what, maybe I've been drinking a little much lately. Let me step back for a second or a couple months or whatever. And a lot of times the habitual nature of it turns into, okay, you know, I'm gonna do it in February too because I feel good
Yeah.
and I like what it is and I'm saving some coin, you know.
And
hmm
let's
So
not pretend that, like in January, we're not coming off of like a long string of parties, like,
yeah, that's true
holiday
too.
events when all the way from October, everything
Yeah,
geared up towards Halloween, all the way through Thanksgiving, all the way through Christmas and then New Year's, like party, 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 getting together with a bunch of people. Like even for social, like I consider myself to be a social drinker. Like I don't typically drink during the middle of the week. Like my liquor cabinet, wine cabinet, whatever, stays stocked and it stays completely stocked and untouched until I have people over.
yeah,
Or,
yeah.
hmm
That's
like
how it works.
we're doing a little thing like this. Like, and so I totally get, like for me, that's one of the reasons why I'm doing intermittent fasting right now. It's like I give myself license to eat whatever I want for the entire from October until the end of the year. And then January is like, okay, I need to cleanse. I need to like, flush. I need to da 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 da. So like in the same vein of that, if somebody's doing like dry January because you're coming off of 2.5 months of binging just because of circumstance, not even because you're like, oh, I'm just hanging at home, like kicking down 2 bottles of wine every single night. Like,
Yeah,
I, I'm sure there are people that are out there like that, but most people aren't. So like, I get the idea of like, oh, I just need to detox. I don't have a problematic relationship with alcohol or whatever, but I just need to like cut back. I think
yeah,
that's dope. I think that's dope.
yeah.
hmm
Am I doing it? No.
Right, that is a question. I guess the question is like, nope. That is too funny. But yeah, kudos to doing what you need to do for yourself. Everybody
Word.
knows what you need to do and taking the steps to do so. So because sometimes we know what we need to do and we don't do it still.
Hmm.
Yeah, and it can
So
also be hard though too,
oh,
because
a
like,
thousand.
because and that's one of the reasons why I can't do it, because I'm a social drinker. It is so hard for me to be out in public
Yeah.
around all these trashy ass people and not have a drink. It's
All
just
these
so
trash
hard,
ass drag queens serving ice
girl.
water.
Right.
Like
All
I
these
be
silkies out here.
I be trying to keep my hands to myself, so that's why I keep a glass in my hand.
Oh damn.
Oh, yeah, you're right about that. I will tell you though, as corny as it sounds, having somebody to do it with you is an incredible, like, it's an
Oh, I
incredible
bet.
sort system. Like, having somebody that's doing like whatever it is that you're trying, whatever it is that you're trying, you're testing out, you're like experimenting with whatever. If you're doing dry January and you have some other person that's doing it with you, that is like the best thing because you keep each other
Support
accountable.
system.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So
Yeah.
well, continue to send your Ask Yo Auntees. It's a brand new year. We need some new ones. So if you haven't sent it or you've been thinking about sending it, you might as well send it. We keep the names anonymous. We don't judge because I mean, shit, you know our lives.
So
Put it
right,
all
hey,
out there.
you got the ammo, sure.
Honey, that's a word. So continue to send your Ask Your Aunties. A lot of times, 99% of it is in DMs. But if you want to email us, it's at aya@minorityreport.com. And I got it in the new year, bitch.
Yes.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
New year, new
I
you. Come
noticed
on
that
now.
too.
Yes.